So I'm looking at the Battle of Krefeld, but briefly I wanted to go over why I decided against playing the reverse of colon. I looked at the counters and the mix of the counters that I didn't know what they were for, and assumed they were for, I don't know what it is, Krauts and whatever. I don't know. Or actually for Kunersdorf. They were just on the same counter sheet, and all the units for Kunersdorf have an N on them. So I'd be basically fighting the same battle with the Austrians attacking through the clear. Somewhat different because the Austrians are trying to push through, but it didn't seem interesting enough to warrant another play of this. This one looks really exciting, actually. Yay! So first of all, it's the smallest of the set in terms of the units involved, the number of units involved, and we don't have Prussians. Well, we don't have many Prussians in it. We have Ferdinand of Brunswick leading a bunch of Hanoverians, and he's got some Prussians to back him up. May have another country in here too. Yeah, it looks like he's got something else here. I don't know what these are. Yeah, that gets blurry as hell. Anhalt. Okay. So we've got sort of a multinational force facing the French, of all people. And the French are under Clermont, who is right there, and is really, really bad. The French happen to be sitting, it's kind of hard to see, but it's an old medieval wall along a ditch. And they've got ditches and along the back end as well. So historically, Hanover swung around the side. They didn't hit this bridge for whatever reason, and it's very unlikely in the game that they're allowed to. Overall, it looks like the French have a tremendous defensive position, even from the back. They have the numerical superiority, but they have a really, really bad leaders, and their units aren't very hot either. So most of their leaders aren't that horrible. I mean, you have Saint-Germain, who's pretty reasonable, and who's this? Anyway, but in terms of activation and getting movements, their values are pretty poor. And the Hanoverians, hell, are not bad. Plus, Hanover has Ferdinand as a special infantry leader, which is a cool little advantage. The morale levels, the French actually start with a higher morale, but there's not a lot of room, which means they're going to hit that 16 real fast. Hanover has a little bit more room. With any success, they're going to hit it as well. What's ugly is that it takes almost no losses to break either army. We're not seeing a lot of room there. It also doesn't last all that long. We're starting at 9 a.m. We got half-hour turns here, and we go until 6:30 p.m. But the actual battle didn't start until 2:30 p.m. And that's likely to be the case unless I want to go charging across the wall. Now, the wall is a fairly significant defensive barrier. So is the ditch, but my feeling is that that's a little easier, and then there's this sort of backdoor area here. So that looks like the best option. We'll see what happens. All right.